Hi, so today I'm going to talk to you about one of the terms um, which could be included in a contract of sale of land, and that is the term that the contract is made subject to mortgage. Now, what is this provision all about? What's this clause all about in the contract for sale of land? Now, this contract's subject to mortgage clause is basically the clause that's included where the purchaser of land is taking a loan from the bank in order to make the purchase, all right? Might be taking a loan from the bank to make the full purchase, or maybe taking a loan from the bank, all right, while he's also providing a part of the purchase price. Now, when this happens, you see that it's important that in the contract agreement, a clause is included to state that the contract is being entered into by the purchaser subject to the grant of that loan, subject to the grant of that mortgage from the bank. Now, the reason for this is because if a purchaser ordinarily defaults, all right, if a purchaser fails to complete the transaction, a contract for sale of land, the vendor, the seller, usually would have a right to repudiate the contract, and the purchaser would forfeit what he has paid as deposit. All right. Now, deposit is, of course, a security sum that is paid by the purchaser in this transaction as some sort of indication to the vendor of his interest in going through with the purchase. So where he fails to complete the transaction, he may forfeit what he has paid as deposit. All right, the vendor takes that money. But if he's taking a loan from the bank, a mortgage, and you have this clause that clearly indicates that a contract has been entered into subject to the grant of that mortgage by the bank, then if he defaults in completing the transaction, and the reason for his default is because the bank failed to provide him with the loan, all right, to make the purchase of the property, then he would not forfeit what he paid as deposit, all right, because the failure to complete the transaction would have been as a result of the bank's fault and by no fault of his. So that is what this contract subject to mortgage is all about in a contract for sale of land, and is important again in a transaction where a purchaser is taking a loan from the bank. So I hope that has been very clear for you to understand, and I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.